$300,000 Silicon Valley salary. Lower savings rate than a median teacher earning $60,000 nationally. You read that right, and if you're making six figures in tech, you've probably already felt it. This isn't just uncomfortable. It's the financial equivalent of running a marathon while wearing ankle weights. Most people assume earning 5 times more means you build wealth 5 times faster. The research shows something entirely different. In fact, the data inverts completely. After federal taxes 37%, California state taxes 13.3%, and FICA 9.65%, your $300,000 gross becomes roughly $150,000 take home. A teacher earning $60,000 in a lower tax state keeps about $48,000. But here's the behavioral economics piece that changes everything. That teacher spends $35,000 a year and saves $13,000, a 27% savings rate. You spend $148,000 and save roughly $2,000. That's a 3% savings rate. By the end of this video, you'll see the exact spending categories and tax lines that create this gap, and why ignoring it could extend your working years by a decade. Stick around, because your next paycheck depends on understanding this. Let's start with the tax math, because it's the first shock most engineers miss. The IRS publishes 2024 federal brackets. At $300,000 income in California, you're in the 37% federal bracket plus the state's 13.3% marginal rate for high earners plus 9.65% FICA. That's roughly 95% combined marginal rate on your next dollar earned. But the effective rate across your whole income is closer to 50%. So $300,000 becomes $150,000 before you make a single choice about rent, childcare, or transportation. Now the teacher earning $60,000 in, say, Texas or Florida. Federal bracket is 22%, state income tax is 0, FICA is 9.65%. Combined marginal rate 31.65%. Effective rate closer to 18-20%. That $60,000 becomes roughly $48,000 after taxes. Same math, completely different outcome. And here's what most people get wrong: you're not just losing more to taxes, you're losing 5 times more on every additional $100,000 earned. But here's where it gets worse. Research from Kahneman and Thaler's work on mental accounting shows that as income rises, spending doesn't scale linearly, it scales with psychological proximity to the income. Silicon Valley engineers see $150,000 take home and unconsciously anchor their lifestyle to gross salary $300,000, not net. Your brain is literally running a math error, and it's costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's break down the actual spending. Rent in San Mateo averages $3,200 monthly for modest 2-bedroom. That's $38,400 per year. Childcare costs $25,000 to $35,000 per year per child. If you have 2 kids, you're at $60,000 for childcare alone. Transportation: Tesla Model 3, insurance, gas, maintenance, $1,200 monthly or $14,400 yearly. Restaurants, because both partners work 60-hour weeks and cooking feels impossible, $600 monthly or $7,200 annually. Health club tutors for standardized test prep. Property tax on a modest condo, another $800 monthly or $9,600 per year. That's $38,400 plus $60,000 plus $14,400 plus $7,200 plus $9,600 equals $129,600. Add groceries, utilities, insurance, phone, streaming services, and you're easily at $148,000. The teacher spending $35,000 lives in a lower COL area. Rent $1,000 monthly, $12,000 yearly. Childcare, if applicable, $8,000. Used car payment, $250 monthly, $3,000 yearly. Food and transportation, $600 monthly, $7,200 annually. Everything else, $1,250 monthly, $15,000 yearly. Different region, entirely different baseline. Here's the rehook you need to hear. This gap isn't created by poor choices. It's created by geography and tax policy. You're not bad with money, you're playing a different game. The wealth-building delta after 30 years is staggering. Our analysis using 4% annual returns. The teacher saving $13,000 per year accumulates roughly $680,000 by age 65. You saving $2,000 per year accumulates roughly $130,000. A $550,000 gap despite a 5 times higher salary. That's not wealth building, that's the salary trap. And if you factor in that the teacher's cost of living area likely has lower property appreciation and lower overall wealth costs, the real gap could be $600,000 to $700,000. The hidden detail most engineers never calculate. Your higher income is being taxed at marginal rates that don't exist for lower income earners, and your location's cost structure is geometrically higher. You're not actually richer in real purchasing power, you're running faster just to stay in place. The real killer: opportunity cost. That $2,000 you're saving annually instead of $13,000 over 30 years. Even conservatively, that's the difference between retiring at 55 and retiring at 65. 1 decade of your life. This pattern is most dangerous right now because we're in tax season. Many of you are seeing your 2024 W-2s for the first time and realizing the gap between gross and net. That's the moment to recalibrate. Are your retirement projections based on gross salary or actual take-home? Because if you've been assuming you'll accumulate wealth at 5 times a teacher's rate, the math says you're behind by 10 years already. The good news: once you see the trap, you can escape it. Numbers don't lie, listen.